Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Prestwich, Hemet City Manager. Today is April 18th, and it's another Business Connect. So welcome. I want to take a moment as we begin to introduce Hemet City staff that is on this Zoom call. Let me begin with our Chief of Police, Mike Ariano. Chief Ariano was interviewed during our last Business Connect. We also have our Deputy Fire Chief, Ryan Webb. We have our Community Development Director, Monique Alanis Flater, and our Economic Development Manager, Ben Sandoval, who we're going to spend some time talking to today. My assistant, Brenda Chavez, is also on the call, and we'll go ahead and get started. So today we're going to focus on economic development, and we're going to spend some time interviewing our new economic development manager. The city has not had an economic development manager for approximately 7 years, so it's nice to have the opportunity to bring back a focus toward economic development. And we're a city that's experiencing a lot of interest on the commercial front and the residential development front. So Ben, I've put together a few questions for you. I'm going to put them on the screen for everybody. We'll share that. But we want to begin with just asking you to introduce yourself to us and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, good morning. Can everyone hear me loud and clear?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, thank you to the city manager for the introduction. My name is Ben Sandoval. I am the new economic development manager, and it is a pleasure being here in the city of Hemet. I've now been here for about 2 months, but it feels like I've been here for years now in a great sense. I've built a lot of relationships, a lot of great friendships already, and I look forward to only continue building on that. Prior to being here in Hemet for the past 2 months, I actually was part of the Southeast Los Angeles County Workforce Development Board, where I'd spent almost 12 years there running and writing multiple grants. For 5 years, I held the role of business services manager, where I actually led multiple grants, such as the small business revitalization grants, the entrepreneurship grant, the home to employment grant, the Downey Made Youth Program, which was recognized nationally. So I'm very familiar with running programs, more importantly, bringing economic prosperity. Also on my side, I did a little side job there working music festivals. So I was very familiar with putting on music festivals such as Coachella, Stagecoach. And that's something that perhaps the city in the near future, not maybe in that magnitude, but seeing exploring ways that we can potentially bring those kinds of events here in the city. And I am born and raised in the city of Downey, California, which is not too far from here, but I am here now to serve and see how we can better make a better ecosystem here in the city of Hemet. So that's just a little bit about me. I am also a father of two beautiful girls, so and a husband, so I'm very excited to be here.
Ben, you've been here just about 2 months and probably off by a few days, but let us know what you've been up to over the last 2 months. I know you've been very busy.
You know what? That would be an understatement. And I genuinely mean that in a great way because I've been doing a lot of grassroots. Some of you I've already met in person. We've had a virtual meeting. So in my first 2 months, I've done a lot of grassroots. I've met with probably up to 30 businesses now to hear some of their challenges, some of their successes. What are they looking for city assistance? What do they look for in a community? And more importantly, how can the city be a better tool in helping them prosper? You know, at the end of the day, small businesses are the backbone of America. So we're definitely tackling small businesses. And I also have met with quite a few organizations, such as the Riverside County Economic Development. We want to have a stronger relationship with them. The Workforce Development Board, I believe the chamber is working very closely with them, but having those services available to small business, such as their subsidized programs, the work experience, 100% and no cost to your business, folks, are on-the-job training, tax incentives. I've also met with the city manager in developing an economic strategic plan. And to the city manager's guidance, we've been kind of beefing that up here and in the near future, seeing what that looks like. But we are in the process of developing an economic strategic plan. We also partnered up with Elevation Culture. Some of you may have seen that festival that happened out there at the Diamond Valley Lake. Beautiful event. I ran it myself. I'm still suffering. I'm barely recovering now, believe it or not. But we look forward to seeing that next year. And We're also preparing for one of the biggest conferences in the nation for retail, ICSC Las Vegas. That's next month. We're going there with a coalition and with one mind and one thing only, to bring economic hospitality prosperity to Hemet. And we already have multiple meetings set up, so we look forward to seeing what transpires with those. And also have worked with multiple city departments to streamline the process, speak business language, be business friendly. Not that we are not, but we're doing a citywide survey, and I've gotten some of those responses from you, the businesses, the constituents. So we're listening, folks, and we want to make sure that when you come to City Hall, it's a beautiful experience. You come in here like it's a Disneyland experience. That's what we're looking for here, because at the end of the day, we want you to feel at home, and that's what we're here for. We also have partnered up with Riverside County to offer the arts and culture. City of Hemet really dove in, and actually something came out of that. So next year, the city looks to really stimulate the arts and culture. I'm very excited to make an announcement here. Some of you may or may not know already, but Dave's Hot Chicken seems to be one of the biggest constituents' questions. When are they going to open? Well, folks, drum roll if I may, because I have that date here officially. So without further ado, feel free to post it on social media, because it's time to tell the good fuel stories. April 25th at 11 a.m., Dave's Hot Chicken is opening up. So I'll see everyone there. We'll have a sandwich and really bring in the new hospitality business, because that's what it's going to take to bring even more. So this is just the start. And I have much, much more, but if I did, we'll be here for another 3 hours. So I'll finish off here for another two items here. Developing also a Hemet Business Roundtable. That's coming up, folks. And save the date, because that's going to be with a city council and city manager approval. We're looking to have the city manager, the mayor, and myself host a Hemet Business Roundtable, June 27th, 4 to 5:30 p.m. Be here, bring your friends, because we want to hear about you. We want to hear what your business is doing. So save the date. We'll be sending out official flyers here shortly, but definitely we want to see every business there in the city of Hemet, because we want to hear you folks. We genuinely do. And last but not least, creating more city events. We're working with different private sector businesses to bring in more community events, because we want our local constituents to stay here in Hemet. We don't want them to go out to other cities. We want them to stay here, and we want them to enjoy themselves. So we are working with different proprietors to offer more city events. So again, there's way more that we've been doing, but that's just the first 2 months. So I look forward to seeing the next 2 months what we get into.
And I was at that dirt festival, and I'm glad I didn't run that race, because I saw the hill you had to climb. But you don't seem to be fatigued as a result of that race with all the work that you've got going. I see we may have had a question from Franklin. One thing, the next question that we have for you is, what is your impression of Hemet's economic development opportunities after taking a look at the town for a couple of months?
So that's excellent question, and that question can be answered in multi-facets, but I'm going to answer it this way. We're in a unique position, but in a good position to prosper, and I genuinely mean that. You might be asking yourself, well, how is that, Ben? Well, guess what? We have no other room to improve but up, folks. I genuinely mean that. So looking over here at the survey here, well, overall, a place to do business. That's something that we can definitely prosper on, making sure that your tax dollars are being utilized the right way. You feel safe. Your outdoor facade business is shining, where it welcomes businesses. They're driving through, constituents and visitors driving down Florida, making that appealing. So the economic prosperity here is very heavy, and also attracting the right type of sectors. Not just any type of sector. We want to make sure that we are creating the white collar jobs. So local constituents are economically self-sufficient and are staying here in Hemet, are working here in Hemet, and have a 5-minute commute. So we have that beautiful ecosystem. And what sectors am I talking about? Besides hospitality, manufacturing, business professionalism, and the future of work, aerospace. The green and blue energy is here now, folks. Being part of LA County, I saw those sectors barely being born. We're in a unique position with the amount of land we have to really bring in big business that's really going to not necessarily disrupt the ecosystem that Hemet has. We're still going to bring the definitely bring the history of Hemet with us and the values of Hemet and the core values, but at the same time, bringing in the new generation so that Hemet can continue to prosper and bring Hemet to where it is going to be. So, sir, to answer your question, we are on a great path. And just looking over here at the city survey, when we have the business roundtable, the only way we can go up at this point is up. And that's a great thing because the trajectory is in our favor.
One of the objectives of the Business Connect calls is to really connect the city with the business community and vice versa. We want to create a forum for our business community to ask questions of us and check in. So that's what this event, this is what these calls are for. But what we also want to do is make sure that the business community is aware of opportunities. And Ben, today, share with us what resources are available to our business community that you believe should be on their radar screen, whether it's city programs, state or federal type programs.
Yes. So that's a fantastic question because oftentimes meeting your bottom line as a business is your true challenge. You know, that's the only thing you're worried about. Bottom line. I don't blame you. A small proprietor, and I've done this looking at the citywide survey here. Bulk of our businesses that I've taken the survey were about we're a huge number now. And I would say over 95% of the city of Hemet businesses are 0 to 10 employees. That's it. 0 to 10, apologies. So what does that tell me? That the owners of those businesses are working more than 40 hours. The 40 hours might as well be part-time. So meeting their bottom line is key. So what does that mean to you? That there are services. You're not alone, you know? There are available resources. Now, on top of the Workforce Development Board that you may have heard, where they offer these subsidies for bringing in someone at no cost, meaning a new hire, maybe you want to step away, maybe you need the extra assistance. Those kinds of type of programs can help you. But at the same time, there's the employment training panel. Maybe you want to upgrade the current skills of your current workforce, but you don't have the funds to pay for their school. Maybe you don't have the funds to pay for their certification. Well, the employment training panel will be able to cover those funds at no cost. We're going to be having a workshop here in the next 2 months. Once approved here by the CM in regards to partnering up with the SBA, believe it or not. We're going to be working with the Small Business Association in regards to bringing in the resources that they have. Very, very, very low interest rate loans. I'm sure a lot of them, maybe you may not want to hear about that, maybe grants, but we're definitely tackling those grants. And that's where the California Competes tax credit comes into play. So is any small business, even the small businesses qualify for that. You're looking just to stay in California, you create a job or 2 or 3, folks, you qualify for the California Competes tax credits. But if you want more information on that, reach out to me and I'll be more than glad to provide that for you because there's $180 million on tax credits for that particular program now. So I want to make sure those city businesses in Hemet utilize those tax credits. Apologies, I had a tongue twister there. And on top of that, the Incumbent Worker Training Panel. So the Incumbent Worker Training Program. So again, very similar to ETP, the Employment Training Panel, but more in a sense of more funding for higher education. So at the end of the day, we understand that in order to grow, your employees have to be educated and at the same time meet artificial intelligence technology. You know, by 2030, AI, about 90% from what I've read, it will be able to replace jobs right now. So what are we doing now to make sure that's possible? So if there's any business here looking to upgrade those skills to AI, maybe your machinery, your heavy machinery need to replace those, the IWT program, Incumbent Worker Training, would be able to assist to subsidize those funds. And on top of all the city programs that we have that the city manager covered very well, that I believe it was 2 months ago, we still have funding for the City of Hemet Business Cares Fund. You may have seen that through the COVID pandemic time. That's still funding available. And I am very aware that some of you have reached out to me that maybe the application process, you may need assistance. We're here to assist you folks. And at the same time, we're here to streamline the process of the application process. I've heard you loud and clear. We'll be presenting that a little later on how we can speak the language of business and make your process here with the city much easier. So that's in a sense, and then there's more that you can reach out to me, but I'll just kind of leave you with this here because I believe these were the questions here for this particular meeting. The winds favor the city of Hemet. We are in a great position right now for economic prosperity, increase of quality of life, an increase of community events, and more importantly, a stronger regional economy. And everyone here is going to play a small key role in making that happen to make our great city even greater than it is today. Hemet is back. Thank you, everyone.
Ben, Ben, if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to reach you?
They can reach me via email at bsandoval@hemetca.com. And I'll actually, if I'm able to here, I'll put in the chat. So I am able to. I'll put in the chat, sir, along with my number as well. And you can email me, text me, call me, even if it's a Saturday or Sunday. You have a question, folks, I'm available. Text away.
So our email is going to be bsandoval@hemetca.gov. And we'll get Ben's information in the chat. We also have representatives of police, fire, community development. And so if anybody has questions today, we're happy to answer any additional questions that participants have. So I'll open it up the floor. Just go ahead and jump in if you have a question. I'm always prepped with one too. I do think it's important to share some of the good basic information that we want the community to know about. And I know that we've just put together an annual report for our police department, and our chief has talked about the fact that our crime rate has continued to drop. Chief, could you just touch briefly on where the city of Hemet's violent and property crime rates are relative to the state average? And
Absolutely.
maybe clear up some rumors out there?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. So as far as Hemet compares to state crime, we've dropped below state levels, and we're about on par with national levels. And it's been decreasing over the last couple of years, so I don't see it anything changing. And matter of fact, we're going to get below both of those this next year, especially with all the new technology coming in. It's inevitable.
So below the state average, that means we're on the better 50%, which is great, and we'll keep pushing the envelope. I know that we've just recently deployed 4 live television cameras in retail centers, and yesterday I think it led to an arrest that was quite impressive. Just the use of the technology was able to be deployed yesterday and follow someone through town and led to an arrest. So this is an example of how that technology is being used.
Yeah, that was just the 4 mobile ones we have now. Can you imagine when we get the 20 Condor cameras installed? It's gonna be really hard for any criminals to get out of Hemet and get away with their crimes.
Our next Business Connect, we're going to focus on our fire department. So Chief Webb will save some of those questions for the next meeting. But if anyone has any final questions, we'll pause for those and then we'll wrap up.
This is Dawn Lawrence. I work for San Jacinto Unified School District, but live in Hemet, and love being on the chamber board and helping with projects and that. But I was going to kind of put Cindy Lemke just a smidge on alert here. I'm wondering if the chamber has signed up to have any crew come and help with the cleanup day on April 27th. Did we do that as a group, Cindy?
Not as a chamber group, but we have been pushing it at every network, doing it in the email blast, sharing on social media, helping to get the word out. Absolutely.
Yeah, I noticed on Facebook, I think it's Lori Van Arsdale that's promoting the cleanup and then the free tickets or the discount tickets or whatever's going on with Ramona pageant or whatever. And, and certainly Ramona is a legacy item, legacy characteristic of Hemet. So that's kind of a key thing. So kind of between all of those. So that was good advertising. My other real question is, besides, how's it going with getting people to sign up to help with the cleanup day? But how's it going with the trash enclosure promotion with the that reimbursement or funding?
Yeah, let me plug Hemet Beautiful briefly, and then we'll talk trash enclosures. So thanks for bringing that up. On April 27th, on Saturday, April 27th, from basically 7 a.m. to noon, we're relaunching Hemet Beautiful, which is a community call to action to spruce up the town in lots of different ways. We have over 25 projects. Our volunteer numbers continue to climb. Brenda may be able to help me know what the current number is, but I know it popped above 200, and I think it may be close to 300 now. Is that
Yes.
about right? Yeah,
Right.
so I think we're close to 300. It probably will grow larger. The banner is up on Florida, and the numbers are just heading in the right direction. So we have it's going to be a nice morning, and we'll see the impact of that call, that community effort. In terms of the trash enclosure pilot program, this is a program that's going to change the way our commercial corridors look. All those trash cans and bins that you see today are going to be hidden in discrete, enclosed, locked with a roof enclosures. And we have grant money on the table right now. The city has $500,000 available, up to $20,000 per trash enclosure. It's first come, first serve, and this is a mandatory requirement in 2026. So this is really important for our business community to know about. Now is the time to get us to get some assistance in putting that trash enclosure together, because it's going to be required. Monique, I believe we have over 11 in applications at the moment. We're about to do a road trip to visit the sites. Each of the sites, each location has some adjustments that might be needed. We might need to take a parking spot, for example, in certain locations, and reorient what the existing enclosure looks like from an access perspective for CR&R. Monique, would you like to share anything else on the current state of those applications?
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, so I believe we have, and Ben can correct me, I think we have at least 12. Isn't it more than that? I believe we have
We're at 13 as of this morning.
13.
Yes.
Oh, so which is great. And so really excited about this program and looking forward to it.
Can't wait to see those go to construction. The city will also be appropriating some money next year to help us with some of the city-owned parking lots that have enclosures. So look for us to also spruce up some of our parking lots. Cindy, any additional comments from the chamber perspective?
No, I can always reiterate how appreciative we are for these new programs coming out like this Business Connect, our Business Walk. Ben, you've been great with reaching out to the cities and following up and remembering them, listening to them. It means so much. Monique, I hope that you're getting what you need to be awesome over there, because you're amazing and I appreciate you. Chief, we've been getting wonderful feedback about how there is progress and people are feeling safer. The businesses are just a little more comfortable, which is so encouraging. You know, it just really helps the momentum of what Ben's trying to do, and Monique and us at the chamber. The businesses are they're why we're here. You know, we want to thrive together and support each other. We just announced a program that was launched by Supervisor Gutierrez's office. It's a hiring incentive program, along with some training for homelessness through the continuum of care and housing and workforce development. So that's going to be a wonderful program for businesses to receive up to $9,600 for the first 90 days of a new hire. So I just appreciate all of this great momentum and wonderful things to talk about. Even Franklin, you guys at the bank are doing amazing things with financial literacy, and you're sharing them with the chamber to share with the members. And all of this forward momentum is just exciting. So I look forward to things like Hemet Beautiful, but the business roundtables are so important, and all of these wonderful, wonderful activities. So thank you for letting the businesses feel heard, and seeing the results of everybody working so hard is really exciting.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thanks,
Well,
Cindy. I
it's a
appreciate it.
wrap.
I'm gonna jump in if that's okay. Mark, real quick, I just introduced myself. My name is Franklin Rivera. I'm a vice president in community business development with JP Morgan Chase, and we've been working really hard in the community, specifically Hemet and San Jacinto, just trying to promote financial wellness through education. And so we've partnered with the chamber and partnered with many different organizations in the city just to try to do that. And so I'm really excited to hear all the great work that Ben is doing specifically with these small businesses to help them thrive and grow. And so we've also got some programs. I'll reach out to you, Ben, just to share some of the stuff that we have to offer as well, just to help improve in the area. Thank you.
Thank you, Franklin. All right, everyone. Well, we'll wrap up. Thanks for your time today. Hemet is on a comeback. There's some great stories to tell. Please share the news, and we'll look forward to talking with everyone next month. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.